I now give the floor to the representative of the Syrian Arab Republic.
Thank you, Madam President. At the outset, I congratulate you and Denmark on presiding over the Security Council this month, wishing you every success in your endeavor. Syria stands ready to support your efforts. Please allow me to thank the permanent delegation of the People's Republic of China for presiding over the Security Council last month. Needless to say, I thank Mrs. Nakamitsu, Under-Secretary General for Disarmament Affairs, for her briefing and for the constructive dialogue we had few days ago. Madam President, the Syrian Arab Republic is keen to adopt a new foreign policy grounded on international law and the Charter, and to honor its obligations under international legal instruments it has acceded to. The Syrian Arab Republic thus reiterates its unwavering commitment to cooperate with the OPCW. To this end, the Syrian government has opened a new chapter with the OPCW, one marked by openness, transparency, and constructive cooperation, which helps resolve all outstanding issues, ensure the full elimination of any potential chemical weapons, and close this file once and for all. Israel's aggressions against several military and civilian facilities in Syria on 9 December 2024 complicated the relevant logistical, technical, and practical challenges. Madam President, Syria reiterates its condemnation of the use of chemical weapons anywhere, at any time, by anyone, under any circumstances. As part of the new phase of cooperation with the OPCW Director General Fernando Arias and his accompanying delegation visited Damascus on 8 February 2025. He held high-level meetings with the President of the Republic and the Foreign Minister. The talks during the visit were open and positive, and featured a thorough exchange of views to establish new frameworks of bilateral cooperation. Discussions also addressed how to promote cooperation and coordination, including the support and expertise that the Technical Secretariat can provide to help Syria fulfill its obligations under the Convention and restore relations based on mutual trust and transparency. Discussions will continue further within the framework of the OPCW, with the latter being the relevant international forum in The Hague. Madam President, the 108th session of the Executive Council of the OPCW was held 2 days ago with the participation of Foreign Minister Asad al-Shibani. This reflects Syria's interest and commitment to the CWC and its serious desire to honor its obligations under the Convention. In his address to the Executive Council, the Foreign Minister reiterated Syria's commitment to secure any chemical weapons-related materials that could be discovered to ensure they do not fall into wrong hands. He said that the chemical weapons program and the use documented by the OPCW dated back to the former regime era. This means that the new government inherited the legal obligations flowing from these violations and did not cause them. As mentioned the Minister, despite the local and international challenges facing the Syrian government, Syria cooperated with the OPCW and, in close partnership with the state of Qatar, was keen to bridge any gap in dealing with this sensitive file in the days that followed the fall of the regime. And we are grateful for the state of Qatar. The minister briefed the Council on the first visit by the OPCW Director General and the investigation and identification team to Damascus. He outlined the actions that need to be initiated to implement the Director General's action plan. A national focal point was designated. It held preliminary meetings with the technical secretariat's representatives to elaborate a clear and specific plan of action. The technical secretariat demonstrated its clear commitment and significant technical support. Madam President, the new Syrian leadership has repeatedly reiterated Syria's full compliance with the CWC and its keenness to seize the moment to embark on a fruitful and constructive cooperation to end the stalled relation with the OPCW, where Syria's privileges and rights as a state party to the convention were suspended and collective punitive measures were imposed. This restricted Syria's access to chemical products and undermined its efforts to achieve economic development and meet the needs of its people. This happened at a time when Syria was in dire need of international support. Syria is keen today to eliminate the threat posed by prohibited chemical weapons and promote international and regional peace, security, and stability. Syria hopes that these decisions will be revoked, having been taken in a bygone era. We also look forward to reinstating Syria's rights and obligations as a state party to the Convention. These sanctions are part of unjust international measures that were imposed on the Syrian people because of the practices of the obsolete regime. They hinder Syria's recovery and, as indicated by the OPCW, affect the organization's capacity to operate in Syria effectively, expeditiously, and smoothly. These sanctions must be thus lifted immediately. In conclusion, Madam President, accountability is critical. We appreciate the work conducted by the OPCW, the Joint Investigative Mechanism, the FFM, and the IIT, and all other mechanisms to hold those involved in using chemical weapons accountable. Syria will continue to strive to deliver justice for victims and establish robust international forums to ensure that these atrocities do not recur in the future. Thank you, Madam President.
Representative of the Syrian Arab Republic for the statement.